This is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed? This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how can we get that with a ceasefire?
All right. So Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization.
Well, I had a different question, but it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Sunny Hostin lit the fire when she claimed Trump's victory came from uneducated white women. Then she doubled down, dragging Latino men into it, framing their support for Trump as part of some grand resentment conspiracy. When backlash exploded online, Hostin tried to clean it up by saying she was just citing polling data. But let's be real. Wrapping in a pie chart didn't make it sound any less elitist.
92% of black women voted for the vice president. You have Latinas in the 70 percentile voting for the vice president. What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump, uneducated white women.
Critics say this is a problem with woke rhetoric. It reduces voters to stereotypes and alienates moderates. Instead of talking policy, Hostin painted Trump supporters as a demographic flaw. That's when Bill Maher stepped in with his signature bite, mocking Hostin's blame game. His message? Stop pointing fingers at uneducated women or resentful Latinos, and maybe try self-reflection. Because every time Democrats treat voters as villains instead of people, they push more into Trump's arms.
Yesterday, I asked ChatGPT, are there any similarities between today's woke revolution and Chairman Mao's cultural revolution of the 1960s? And it wrote back, how long do you have?
Elections are about winning hearts and minds. Maher's point was simple. If your message doesn't connect, don't blame the voters. Fix your message. Trump shocked everyone in 2016 because he reached across demographics with raw, direct appeals. Meanwhile, Hostin's smug dismissal only showed how out of touch she was.
He did better, like in every demographic. The exit poll said he grabbed 52% of white women. He also got their votes.
Then came Meghan McCain. She torched Hostin's comments and blasted The View as nothing more than a radical progressive insane asylum. She flat out told people, "Stop sending me clips. I left for a reason." Her scorched earth take exposed just how far she thinks the show has drifted into woke groupthink.
This is just the facts. This is just the facts.
Trump won all the swing states, all 7. I mean, he ran the table. Trump won so big. Today he called the Secretary of State in Georgia and he asked him to lose him 11,000 votes.
For McCain, The View isn't about dialogue anymore. It's about who can be the wokest, conservative or moderate voices. Silence, different ideas, shut down. She argues this obsession with ideological purity only drives people away. To her, Hostin's comments weren't just bad optics. They symbolize how woke culture is strangling open debate.
I know you're angry. I get it that you're angry that Trump's president, like a lot of people
I'm angry about every single thing he's doing.
I don't think yelling at me is going to fix the problem.
Hostin tried again weeks later, claiming Trump only won because the presidential bar was too low. That argument fell apart fast. Dismissing Trump's victory as lowered standards ignores why millions voted for him. Frustration with Washington, economic worries, cultural shifts. Trump wasn't fluke. He tapped into real anger the elites refused to see. Even Whoopi tried to get Hostin to rephrase, but she doubled down anyway.
You've been asked, I hear, about running for political office in the future, and some people have said that they could see you running for president. Would you do that? You think you qualified to run for president? I mean, the bar is pretty low.
Maher shredded that excuse. He reminded viewers Trump didn't win because the bar dropped. He won because his message hit home. He spoke directly to voters who felt unheard. Ignoring that reality only deepens a disconnect. Maher's advice to Hostin and the left? Stop treating Trump's success as an accident and start asking why your message isn't landing.
Rephrase that.
I mean, I just think that the bar is really low because Trump really had no political experience and went from 0 to 100, right? He didn't start in the city council and stuff like that. So the bar is low.
Maher then dropped another truth bomb. Democrats' obsession with identity politics cost them the election. Instead of talking jobs, bills, and health care, they obsessed over checking diversity boxes. Maher joked it was like throwing a party. where only people with 3 identity labels got invited. Meanwhile, Trump told struggling Americans he'd pay attention to them, and they believe him.
Listen to these eye-popping numbers. Trump has a 30-point edge with registered voters on the question of which candidate would handle immigration and border security better. Trump has a 23-point edge among Latino voters. What? You're not even getting the people you're supposedly pandering to.
This isn't the first time Maher and Hostin clashed. On The View, Hostin tried the classic woke tactic: twist his words, trap him with labels. But Maher dismantled her arguments one by one with humor and sharp logic. By the end, she was left scrambling while he turned the tables in spectacular fashion.
Usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person. What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sex.
The hypocrisy was glaring. Hostin and her allies love dishing outrage, but crumble when the pushback hits them. Maher exposed how the woke mob hijacks language itself. Words like equity and social justice once meant fairness, now twisted into enforcing equal outcomes and silencing dissent. Maher even said he dropped the word woke if it offended Hostin, but not without driving home how the left manipulates language to control debate.
I had a different question, but it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Maher then widened the scope. The left, he argued, has lost its way. Once about free speech and equality, now about cancel culture and authoritarian purity tests. He cited examples. J.K. Rowling smear for her views, speakers shouted down on campuses, and even protests siding with Hamas. For Maher, that was a breaking point. Supporting villains while demonizing dissent? That's not progressivism. That's moral blindness.
Woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustice.
Sensing defeat, Hostin tried one more trick, baiting Maher into a gotcha on Israel. But Maher saw the trap instantly. This is a textbook woke tactic. Frame questions so opponents either sound bigoted or concede the narrative. Maher sidestepped flawlessly, exposing how manipulative this game really is.
Require teachers to have licensing, require participating in private schools.
If I may get in, just to make it a conversation.
But because I have children and because I looked at private schools.
Maher didn't stop there. He cut through the noise with brutal clarity. Israel has a right to defend itself. No nation would tolerate rockets raining down without responding. The woke mob complicates things with moral gymnastics. But Maher's point was blunt. Survival isn't optional. If you're under attack, you fight back.
Not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate.
Finally, Maher flipped the script with his own trap. Do you want Palestine destroyed? Hostin, caught off guard, blurted, yes. And that was it. Checkmate. Maher exposed the double standards perfectly, condemning Israel for defending itself while casually endorsing the destruction of others. By the end, Hostin and her woke brigade weren't just beaten, they were dismantled. Maher proved once again that when woke culture meets logic, it collapses under its own contradictions.